Hey Gen X friends, it's been a minute, but I'm back. I wanted to make this video because I just started a very interesting journey that finally, there are conversations happening about where we never were told this before. And for you Gen X guys out there, you may not want to watch this video because it's about the middle-aged woman's journey, but if you want to understand the wife or the girlfriend or your significant other better, then maybe you want to tune in. So, can I get an amen that nobody explained to us about perimenopause? I mean, I think between our doctors and maybe our mothers or the women in our family, somebody should have told us fucking something. Or what we were told is very minimal. Like you get hot flashes and then your periods go away. Yeah, that's not how this works. And why is it that the doctors, the GYNs, the OBGYNs don't seem to have a lot of information about this at all? I mean, the PCPs, forget it. I mean, with all due respect to doctors who have taken the time and the finances to get and done all the work to get your MD, that's awesome. But I don't hold back when I talk about our American medical care system. And if you know, you know. If you're just sort of run of the mill with no issues, then it's fine. But some issues are just swept under the rug around here, and finally we're starting to talk about some of them. I mean, I've dealt with Lyme disease, mold exposure, autoimmune thyroid, and now perimenopause. And what's really ridiculous about all of the things I just mentioned is that the symptoms are really similar. So now I have to ask myself, what the hell was what? So for perimenopause, it's been not just hot flashes. I don't even get like some women I know, and my mother included, would like just sweat and be drenched in sweat. For me, it's more like I'm getting warm from the inside out. They're like the power surges, and they happen at all random times. But it's not just that. That's actually the least of my symptoms. I've dealt with insomnia, that's been a bitch, joint pain, and like elbows, like joints you kind of forgot you had, not just knee pain, foot pain, headaches, all the symptoms of PMS times 10. And I will say that I was lucky as a teenager and a young adult. I never had PMS. And to be transparent, I will confess, I kind of thought PMS was bullshit. I thought it was just, my other women friends or family members just trying to get out of school or get out of work and kind of use it as an excuse. But nope, I was wrong. When I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong and I'll eat the crow. I was fucking wrong. Now I'm getting all the PMS. So the mood swings, perimenopause mood swings are no joke. So guys, if you're still watching this, you may have tuned out by now, but if you want to understand what's going on with your wife or your significant other or any other woman in your life, like this, seriously, it's no fucking joke. It's not women trying to get attention. It's not women trying to be hysterical, as we've been labeled, or depressed or whatever it is. It is some serious shit. And it's relentless. So where was I? Insomnia, the weight gain. And I know I was somebody I was not an inactive person. I did sports my whole life. And then when I got out of school, I went to the gym constantly. And then once I got married, yes, I started to slow down a little bit, but I still exercised, and then I had kids, and then I wasn't as good as keeping up with it. But then I did get hardcore about it, and I was back to my high school size, which was wonderful, in a healthy way, though. This is not about, body image or body shaming or trying to be skinny and all that. No, fuck that shit. But then when I hit 50, it just where did this belly come from? It was like I could do whatever. Eat clean, eat keto, go carnivore, do, whatever it was, autoimmune thyroid diets and exercise and weight train. And nope, it wasn't fucking budging. In fact, it was like getting worse. And I did say mood swings, but I will say when you're in perimenopause, the lows are low. I'm a generally positive person, always have been, glass half full. But I'm going to tell you, I had some dark fucking moments in perimenopause so far. I would say I'm 53. I'm probably 7 years in to perimenopause. It can start in your 40s. Now they're even saying it could be in your 30s. And that even worse, those of us who did like birth control pills back in the 80s and the 90s could have fucked us up, set us up for this bullshit even worse. Like that can fuck us up. So yeah. And let's see what else. I mean, there's so many other things. Twitches and, like I said, headaches, toothaches, just gums bleeding. It can be just dry skin, itchiness, feeling like you're hearing things, smelling things, all of it. So, and my PCP response to that, my primary care, was, guess what? Guess what? I'll give you one guess. Antidepressants, because that's the cure-all in America, apparently. And I'm not doing that. It has a place, but this isn't it for me. Then the answer was Ozempic. That's also not the answer for me. I am a holistic gal. That's my first line of defense, is to go natural, herbal, or homeopathic. And if that usually that's worked well for me through the years and for my kids. But when the medication is appropriate, of course, I will look into it and be fully aware, eyes wide open, but I don't have a trust. And before anyone comes in my comments and says, trust in science, listen, there are lots of ways to define science. And science isn't just people in little white lab coats working in a corporate building, putting together lotions and potions and pills. Okay, that might be one branch of it, but that's also a business. And it's actually in our best interest to keep that in mind, that it is a for-profit science. So in my opinion, it has a place, but it's too often gone to as the first line of defense and unnecessarily prescribed. Or I've been someone during my Lyme disease who's been misprescribed. So I was given prescriptions that weren't even appropriate and were actually harmful to me. So my skepticism is huge. So I said, no, there's got to be a better way. Somebody has to know more about this perimenopause or menopause stuff, because there's a root cause and a reason why all this is happening, why women go through, and men go through midlife crises. I'm sure men go through their own hormonal changes, no doubt, which is also not talked about. I'll bet that's coming in the future. But for now, it's like, women's healthcare has been sorely lacking. We're just told we're fucking crazy. Here's a script. Have a nice day. That's it. And you have to be your own advocate. And don't listen to the haters who are going to make fun of you for Dr. Google and Dr. YouTube or going and doing your own research. You fucking have to. If you've been through chronic illness or any kind of illness that's not well talked about, that the medical profession poo-poos or they didn't get educated on, they're just going to dismiss you. And that's not good enough. That's not fucking good enough. So it's exhausting. We have to be our own advocates. But anyways, so I did a search until I found finally a GYN in my area who knows about hormone therapy, right? Because right now, hormone therapy is starting to be talked about in the mainstream. Finally, that this should be a given for women who are in their 40s. And sometimes the blood work, I swear the blood work, the parameters they use for normal are not always normal, because for years, my blood work on my thyroid came up as normal and I still had symptoms. So we all know that there's something wrong there. But again, I'm not prescribing, diagnosing, telling you to do anything, recommending. This is just my journey. So finally, based on my symptoms and other markers from blood work that she took, like cholesterol, blood pressure work, glucose A1C, looking at different markers, she decided that I would be a good candidate for HRT. And it's bioidentical hormones, by the way. Bioidentical. Big difference. And there was a scare that this was, if you have a risk of cancer in your family or breast cancer specifically, then yes, might not be the path for you. But for those who don't, it's now being shown or now being uncovered that the studies that were done years ago to say it was such a risk to do this for women, they were actually false. They were done on a group of women who had synthetic hormones and they were over 60 through menopause. So not appropriate for most of us. So I'm about to start this journey and I'm going to document every week. I'll tell you how it's going so you know, and you can make your own decisions, talk to your doctors, because if this is a game changer, like my doctor says it has been for so many women, we need to fucking know. and I will let you know all of it. I love you guys. Stay tuned.